All right. Vocabulary terms first. Can you show off your knowledge? Where quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4? What's the sign language, Anna? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Where's 1? Top right. And then where does it go from here? Bottom right or top left? Counterclockwise. Yep. So there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. Is that what you were doing, Anna? Okay. I'm sure. To C. Yes. Thank you. All right. We're going to start putting angles in all those different quadrants. All right. Before we do that, you got to know what an angle is going to look like when I ask you to graph it. This angle right here that I have given you guys, that's in standard position. Here's why. Everyone see one side of the angle's on the x-axis. That's called my initial side. IAL, AL. I got any spelling bee champs in the house? IAL. Okay, that's my initial side. And you see the other part of the angle that falls in one of the quadrants. In this case, it falls in quadrant 1. That's called my terminal side. Terminal side. An angle is in standard position when the initial side is on the x-axis, always on the x-axis, and the terminal side is in one of the quadrants. Okay, that's called standard position. All right, I'm going to blow some minds now. Here's an angle drawn in quadrant 1. I can at least tell you what degree measures it's in between. If I go all the way around here, how many degrees did I go? 360. It's divided up evenly 4 times. So any angle in the first quadrant will be between 0 and 90 degrees. Yes. Keep going with me. Here's an angle in quadrant 2. Hey, guys, notice that initial side never leaves the x-axis. The only part that changes is the terminal side. The initial side never leaves the x-axis. What degree measure should an angle in quadrant 2 be in between? 90 and 180. Yep. So this angle, I don't know, maybe 125, 120, somewhere in there. Quadrant 3 would be in between what? 180 and 270. And any angle in quadrant 4? 270 and 360. All right, so take a look up there. Everyone all right with the quadrants where it would land, depending on the degree measure? Because I'm going to turn this over to you guys now. Okay, draw the angle for me. Draw the angle. Tell me what quadrant. First question is going to go out to everybody, and don't answer it because I'm going to call in a number here. What quadrant should I be in? And then we'll draw it together. So I have a 145 degree angle. What quadrant should that terminal side end up on? Here we go. 1. Quadrant 2. Yes. Okay, everyone agree it's in quadrant 2. So how do I draw it? First, initial side always on the x-axis. Where's the terminal side going to be? Quadrant 2. But hey, I'm not looking for exactness, but be in the ballpark. This is 90, this is 180. Where's 145 closer to? 180 or 90? 180 or 90? Where's 145 closer to? Oh boy. Is it closer to 180 or 90? 180. So make it closer to 180, please. All right. I shouldn't have something. Take a look. I shouldn't have that as my angle. All right. Obviously incorrect. I'm not looking for preciseness, but be in the ballpark. There's one more thing I need to finish this angle, and that is for you guys to show me what direction is it going. Because you'll find out in a second, I could be going this way or this way. All right. All the angles go, positive angles go counterclockwise. All right. So give me a directional arrow or a rotational arrow. All right. Let's keep going. 30 degrees. What quadrant am I in? 30 degrees. Here we go. Let's hear from 1. Again, quadrant 1. All right. So get that terminals, get that initial side on the x-axis. Closer to 0 or 90? 30 degrees. Closer to 0 or 90? 0. So make it closer to 0 than it is to 90. And make sure you get that rotational arrow in there. 295. What quadrant am I in? 295. Should end in quadrant 20. 10. Which quadrant? Quadrant 4. Nice job. So here we go. Closer to 270 or 360? 295. Closer to 270. Make it closer to 270. And directional arrow all the way around. Everyone all right with a positive angle? Identifying the quadrant, draw it correctly. Anything right now? Can you have negative angles? Darn right you can. All right. The only thing I'm going to do with negative angles is not go counterclockwise. I'm going to go clockwise. So take this little graph I've given you right here. If I start at 0, what's going to be down here now? Not 270, but negative 90. Because now I'm going clockwise. This would be negative 180. Up here, negative 270. So when you have a negative angle, you need to go clockwise instead of counterclockwise. So can you draw me an angle of negative 60? What quadrant should I be in? Here you go. 4. What quadrant should I be in? 4th quadrant. Closer to negative 90 or 0? Closer to negative 90 or 0? Negative 90. So here you go, everyone. Draw your initial side in. Still on the x-axis. Terminal side, 4th quadrant. Now, where should my rotational arrow go? Not going around. That's positive. I'm just going right between here. Yes, Abe. What do you mean? Well, 60 versus negative 60 is 2 different quadrants.
Yeah, I'm saying like with the bottom one, like how on the top it's 0 to 90, that's the first one. Well, on the bottom one, would 0 to 90 be the first one? Like, would that ever happen?
I still have no idea what you're saying.
Like, I'm saying like 0 to negative 90.
Yep.
Would it be, that wouldn't be the first quadrant, right?
No. So any angle between 0 and negative 90 is always in the 4th. Always in the 4th. Any angle between 0 and 90 is always in the 1st. Yep, that will never change. All right, I'm going to challenge you now. Can you give me a positive angle that's got the same terminal side? So basically, here's what I'm asking for. Can you find that angle for me? Can you find an angle, positive angle, that's got the same terminal side? You already know that's negative 60 right there. Can you find the other angle, the positive angle? I think you can. I think you can. Let's go. Here we go. If you don't, I'll help you out. Not a big deal. Here we go. 12. Any idea? 310. How are you getting 310? You're better than that. Yeah, you're better in the math with that. 300. Correct. Nice. 300 degrees. Ready? Here you go. Next vocab. Matt, no? You good? Well, think about it. It's got to go. Hey, all the way around is what? 360, right? This is already 60 degrees, even though it's negative 60, right? How many are left? If I go 360 all the way around, I already took care of 60. How many are left? 300 degrees. We all good? Anybody else? 300? Okay. These two angles, negative 60 and 300, have a name. They're called coterminal. Why are they called coterminal? What side is this called again? What side is this called right here again? That's my what side? And look back if you need to. Terminal side. It's two angles that share the same terminal side. One's positive, one's negative. Everybody good? Yes, no, coterminal. Share the same terminal side. Abe, I got to go back to you for this one. What did you do there? So if I give you any angle that's negative, what can you automatically do to it to find the positive angle that's coterminal with it? What did you do to negative 60? You added what? 360 to it, right? So anytime the angle's negative, add 360 to it. That will find an angle that's coterminal with it. Ask away here before it's going to start getting crazy here soon. Anything. All right, I'm going to give you guys probably 1:30 seconds right now. Find the smallest possible measure that's coterminal with that one. You do not have to graph it. So if you have a negative 270 degrees, name another angle that has the same terminal side. Yeah, here we go, buddy. Here we go. Let's start 8. 90. How'd you get it there, Trent? Add 360 to the negative angle, and you got 90 degrees. Yes, they share the same terminal side. How about negative 110? Here we go. Hey, 7, how we doing? What'd you do here? You added 360. So both those angles, negative 110 and 250, both have the same terminal side. So we can have negative angles. Can I get something bigger than 360? You're darn right. Minds are blown today, huh? You can have negative angles. You can have angles bigger than 360. An angle of 640. Let's draw that right now. 640? You didn't label that. Well, we're going around again now. So we're at 360, right? Okay, so we're at 360 here. Anybody want to add anything and get what angle measurement should be? Keep going counterclockwise here. 400 and? How'd you get that? Add 90. Keep going because I need 640 somehow. 450. What's the next one? 5. Darn it, still not there. Keep going. 6. Up. Do we find out what quadrant is 640 in? Hey, 20. What quadrant is 640 in? The fourth. All right. Hey, is it going to be closer to the y-axis or the x-axis in the fourth quadrant? Y-axis. Good. So, hey, initial side, still right on the x-axis. Terminal side, closer to the y-axis. Now, unfortunately, right here, that's not going to cut it anymore. Because didn't I go around? So you need to show me, I call it the little pinwheel here. Look at that sucker. Boom. Okay, you need to show me how many times you rotate it around. So that's an angle of 630. Challenge? Could you find another positive angle that's also got that terminal side? 640 and what share the same side? Could you find that for me? And I'll take any answer because there's infinite answers here. Infinite answers. 640 and what share the same terminal side? Give me another angle and then be prepared to tell me how you got it. 640 and what? I'm not asking. You just asked. I answered your question. 7. Any idea? How'd you get it?
Just looked at the first one of them 270s on the bottom and just add 10.
Okay, and what you're doing is you're taking 640, going backwards and subtracting 360 from it, and then that's where you get your 280, you said? Yep, 280. So if an angle's greater than 360, I want to, what did we just do here? 1, what do I want to do here if I have an angle greater than 360? Subtract 360. You and your group right now, you and your group right now, 1 minute here. 7 and 8, state the quadrant first. Find what quadrant you're in. You don't need to graph it. And then tell me the smallest positive measure that shares the same side. Okay, go ahead right now. 550 and 750. Name the quadrant it's in, and then tell me the smallest positive. 11. What quadrant? 550.
Third.
Quadrant 3. Perfect. Name the smallest angle that's coterminal now. Shares the same side as 550. Here you go. 12. What do you got for me? $1.90. Nice job. Anybody want to ask questions or see where any of that came from? Okay, 750. Who am I going to catch on this one? 7. What quadrant?
First.
It is in the first. Can I get anybody here on the next question? Smallest positive angle that shares the same side. 16?
30.
God. That is correct. I didn't get you. Anybody have 330? Or I mean, anybody have 390? Calm down. Anybody have 390? Okay, what are the directions though? Smallest pot. Can you keep subtracting 360 and be positive? Yep. Okay, smallest positive. So keep going as far as you can go before you get into the negatives. How are we feeling about this? Not too bad? We're all good? Only last combination. Yeah, buddy. Only last combination I got to talk about is what's less than negative 360. Okay? What do you think you do to find an angle that shares the same side? We don't have to draw this or anything. So let's say negative, like here, we can do this first one. Negative 400. I want to find an angle, the smallest positive one again, that's got the same terminal side. What do you think I'm going to keep doing the negative 400 till I get there? 15, any thoughts till I get there? I got negative 400. Smallest positive angle that shares the same side. I want to keep, why not, right? I want to keep getting positive, so let's keep adding 360. And Anna, what do you end up with? Okay, what were my directions, though? It has to be positive. So what do I keep doing? Add 360 again. And what is the smallest positive one, Anna? 320, yep. Okay, so in the box up above here, can be simplified by adding 360. So either you're subtracting or adding 360. And then I'll give you guys a second on negative 900, and I'll ask somebody. Surprised nobody's asked me this certain question yet, but we'll get to it. Negative 900 when you're ready. 12 when you're ready. Let me know what the smallest positive angle. $1.80. That crew in the back, all right? Sure, Anna?
Yeah, I just
What?
zoned out for a second before that. I don't understand.
One job.
What?
One job. Everybody else good? All right. That was the first half of today's notes. Here's the second half. Well, we're gonna keep talking about these through most of the unit. Reference angles. First, make whoever your geometry teacher proud. It wasn't me, so I don't really care if you know it or not. Acute. It's got to be between 0 and 90. Okay? So anytime I'm looking for a reference angle, your answer should always be between 0 and 90. Never bigger than 90, never negative. Okay? So it should be a positive acute angle formed by the terminal side and the x-axis. All right? I've shown you one right now. Look at my angle I put in. Which quadrant is this angle in? Second quadrant. All right? Here, right here, take a look. Here is the reference angle. Terminal side and what axis? X-axis, never the y-axis. There's your reference angle. The terminal side and always the x-axis. Can you guys please do me a favor as I walk around right now? Can you just graph any random angle right now in the third quadrant? Can you please graph an angle in standard position in the third quadrant for me? I'm not concerned about the degree measure. I just want that beast in the third quadrant. Everyone's got one in the third. Where would the reference angle be? Could you just write in REF angle? Where would it be? Well, how's it formed again? The terminal side and what axis? The X. Do you see that angle that's formed by the X-axis and the terminal side? That is your reference angle for this quadrant anyway. Reference angle right here. One more. Can you draw an angle in the fourth quadrant for me? Draw an angle in the fourth quadrant. And let's see if you can at least just figure out where the reference angle would be. Everyone's got an angle in the fourth quadrant? Everyone see what the reference angle would be? Terminal side and what axis? I'm always going to ask that because I get too many kids every year. Oh, I'll do that one. No, that's called the y-axis. All right, that's called the y-axis. This is the x-axis, so this is your reference angle. Okay, and identifying it, because now you actually have to come up with the degree measure for me. Good, ladies, gentlemen, we all set? Fellas, all right. Here it is now. Let's see what you got. For each of the ooh, look at that. I threw a Greek letter at you there. Beta. How about that? Everyone all right with that? Just a variable. Beta. So my angle's 160. Draw me a rotation diagram first. So get out your X and Y axes and draw me 160-degree angle as I walk around. Just make sure everyone's got this. 160-degree angle. What quadrant should you be in? Quadrant 2, second quadrant. And I want to make sure if you're closer to 90 or 180 here. Should be closer to one of those. Oh, we're missing something already. We're missing something. Which way is it going for some of you? Clockwise or counterclockwise? Get the arrow in there. Get the arrow in there. You're better than that. Where should one side of your angle always be? On the darn x-axis. All right, I don't know why some of you guys have a little flipper hanging out in here in the first quadrant. Here you go. It's got to be closer to 180. What's going on? That's garbage. Let's try that again. All good. Now I need you to find how many degrees in the reference angle. How many? Okay. First of all, where is the reference angle up here? Find out where it is. Trace it with your finger. Trace it with your pencil. I don't care. Does everybody see the reference angle right here? I need you to find how many degrees are in that reference angle. And remember, your answer should be acute, somewhere between 0 and 90. Can you find me how many degrees are in that reference angle? Always with the terminal side and the x-axis. This was 160. Okay, let me turn it over to you here. 20, any thoughts? Impressive. 20. Want to let your classmates, because some of them are like, how did he know that? 180 from here to here, 180. And this was already what? 180 minus that 160, 20 degrees left over. And hey, beta, lowercase r for reference angle equals 20 degrees. Yep. Any issues finding that reference angle? Okay, draw me 300. Go, draw me 300. This is going to go quicker the more confidence I get in you. Go ahead, draw me 300. What quadrant? Fourth quadrant. You guys putting it closer to 270 or 360? Should be a little closer. No, it should be closer to what? 270. It's 30 away from that versus 60. What?
That was dead center. I had no clue.
You see why it's closer to?
Yeah, no, I didn't say that. I just
Okay, you're done. You're done. Do you see? Hey, not what it is. Do you see? If I had you come up here and point, could you point to where the reference angle is here? Terminal side and what axis? X-axis. Here it is right there. What is that angle measure right there? What is that angle measure? 17? Oh, perfect. Lucky number one. How'd you get 60? I tell everybody. 360 all the way around minus 300. $60 degrees. Got to be between 0 and 90, remember. It's got to be acute. Go ahead, do it for 210. Do it for 210 on your own. Remember, x-axis, not the y-axis, x-axis. Did you find that reference angle yet? Find the reference angle. Here you go. 5. Find the reference angle. Okay, ready? You see where it is? Right there? When I went from here to here, it's how much? 180. I have 210 from here to here. What do I want to do with those two to find out this part? I got 210, then I got 180 from here to here. There you go. 210 minus 180. Not off the hook yet. What is it? Yep. 30 degrees. We see that. How about this next one? 78. Anybody got a problem? Well, you go ahead and grab. What quadrant am I in? Okay. Let's just graph it and talk. Yes, Anna? Would it? Well, where's the reference angle? Terminal side and x-axis. Isn't that the same angle I just drew? So you are correct. When an angle is in quadrant 1, all right, The angle and its reference angle are the same. Nice job back there. Thank you. No zoning on that one, huh? Questions here, because now we're going to go negative angles. Could you do this with the positive angles? Anybody having an issue using positive angles? Anybody? So what am I going to suggest when we go negative? Before you even do anything, make it positive. All right, nobody had an issue with the positive angles finding the reference angle. So if I have an angle of negative 110, we'll go ahead and first let's graph it. What quadrant should negative 110 be in? Here you go, 9. What quadrant? Quadrant.
No, sorry.
Why? Good catch, because you're going where now? Going clockwise now. So here was negative 90. Here was negative 180. Perfect. Or maybe you don't even need to. I should just shut up. Do you guys see where the reference angle is? Right here. What does that angle measure? What does that angle measure? Hey, it's already 110, right? And you got to get to 180. What's left? What's left? 6. What's left? Okay, but if you look back at my definition, it said it's got to be positive acute. So not negative 70, positive 70. Everyone all right on that one? It always has to be positive. So my reference angle is 70 degrees. I'm going to walk around and see what you can do with these last 3, but I just want to hit this one real quick. I'm surprised nobody's asked me. If I ask you what quadrant 90 degrees is in, what are you going to tell me? You're probably going to go, ah. Right? I have no idea, just like that. All right, that's because it's not in a quadrant. All right, anytime it falls on one of the lines, it's called a quadrantal angle. All right, that lands on one of the axes. All right, so I already gave you one of them. That's 90. Can you give me more of them, 2 of which are negative? Let's go around the room here. 6. Give me another one that's a quadrantal angle. Lands on the axes. 180. Here we go. Let's go to town. I'm still looking for 2 that are going to be negative, though, out of these 8. Another one. 9. 270. Need another one. 3. Okay, 0. 360. Got it. Let's keep it going. More. 13. 20. Quadrantal. I got 4. I need more quadrantal angles. Okay. So 20 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the next 2 got to be negative. 4. Whoa, easy there. All right, 540. Thought they would just go the 90, 180 route, but hey, I'll take it. And then 12, negative 90. Okay, all these land on the axes. You're not done because I'm coming around watching you guys do F, G, and H. I'll put the answers up here so you guys know you're doing them correctly. So negative 280, draw it, find its reference angle. Check the reference angle up here. should be between 0 and 90 and positive, remember, for the reference angle. Between 0 and 90 and positive.